Alright, with my hands below the fire, I'm going to just put that in, and you can actually see even partially how that affects it. And we've just started this with pine cones, and you probably hear the roar just change when I put that on. And I can still handle this. So, and away we go. I started that with pine cones and a bit of grass, and you can see here now we've got a really nice flame. I actually probably want to put this up a little bit higher. You can see at the moment it's still cool enough to handle, although I would recommend you use gloves. I'm just going to put that up a little bit higher. Take a look down inside, even though it's at the early stages of the fire, but you can just see the air coming through. We'll be starting the pyrolysis soon, but you can see around the edges there the airflow coming up the side of the FluxWrap and then streaming up. Still got some dirty smoke coming up from the pine. So we'll wait for that to clean up, and then we'll put our bottle on. If you see here, I've left a gap, so after we finish cooking with the bottle, I'll be able to put my cup on and slide it down through there. Getting a nice flames going now. I think we're starting to get the gasification. I can just see a few pine cones still boiling off in there. Let's bring it over the top again. You can see the red embers of the twigs. Top one's burning, some of the ones even a little bit further down have caught on. But you can see where the air is coming through, and we're getting the jets coming up. Actually more on this left hand side at the moment, which probably isn't showing up in the camera. Alright, starting to get a nice clean burn. And we'll put our water on. Use the trapeze, bottle trapeze to do that. I'll keep my hand away from the heat. Put that out. And again, we'll take the time off the video. We won't show the whole boil, but we'll take the time off the video, and we'll tell you how long it took for this to come to the boil. The temperature has just got up to about 62 F, so that's about the temperature of the water, because it's been sitting out here for a while. And perhaps you can see, or perhaps you can't see, we've got a very clean burn going on here. Actually, I'm seeing more heat than I am seeing smoke, although you can see some of the flames coming up around my bottle. So I know some of you are wondering, why is there a piece of paper stuck under there? And I've given you time to think about that. So what I'm doing today is a little experiment just to see how much heat actually goes down to the base if I stop the fire, smother it before the wood, the exposed wood at the base there. So that's the wood that's taking heat, getting the air flowing over it, but before it turns to embers. How well that acts as a filter grate, and also how well it protects the underneath surface from scorching. I think that'll be a pretty interesting take on it. So currently I'm getting a little bit of bubbles starting to form. Like this forming a lot quicker than I was expecting. So perhaps we won't even cut the video away. Let's have a look here. It's coming to a boil. Well, there it goes, a full rolling boil. And the spill of water there actually, as you see, doused the flames a little bit. But it's so hot in there. Right, you can see it's coming back, and this gives us an opportunity to show it gasifying quite nicely. And it's already recovered, so I'm moving my camera away. I'm going to put some water on now. This is a 16-ounce water cup. And I'm just going to drop that down in there. And again, I'll record the time here, and we'll see how it goes. You can see we've got some ash coming down onto the paper, so it's going through the wood. And we'll see how that goes. I think a lot of that happened when I actually had my water spill. Stop the paper flapping up against the side there. I really don't want it touching where I know it's hot. once again, I don't know if you can see it here, but we'll go in a little bit. Not only are the bubbles forming, they're forming around the sides rather than at the bottom of the cup. So that's indicating that we're getting good heat transfer through the side of the cup. So we're increasing our surface area, not only in the base, but also around the sides. So that's where a lot of the heating is taking place. Since this is a bigger opening than the bottle, I'm going to remove this fairly quickly before when we get to a rolling boil, which is about now, as I don't want it completely spilling over. There you go. So 1 cup, 16 ounces, plus 1 bottle of water, easily boiled. And if we zoom over, we've still got plenty of heat, and you can see a nice clean burn going on. We got some embers down there, a little flicker of flames on some of the twigs, but mostly we're looking at, I would have to say, pyrolysis taking place and gasification. So remove that. Perhaps it might be easier to see in now, but very much charcoal in there. Extinguish the burn with water. I'll show you here. Is a load of charcoal. Most of it's burned through. You can see just here some of the tips that have gone to the end. What it does show you here in the wood is that actually pyrolysis was effectively taking place. As you can see along all this wood is now basically charcoal. It's not wood anymore. Even the bigger pieces are burnt to charcoal. So we are getting gasification, and if we let that go any longer, the heat that would have eventually turned to ash. But this charcoal is biochar. In fact, stopping it early is actually probably beneficial when I bury it, in that it's going to fertilize the earth. Now, people are going to argue about leave no trace and I'm affecting the earth there. Yeah, I'm adding nutrition back into the earth, but that's what a natural forest fire would have done anyway.